Alright, alright, we're live. I had to fix this stupid ass microphone and source thing, and I had to re-download the episode, re-download the app. Alright, we're live, anyway, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the new books that I have right here. My uncle went to a yard sale, so he found some DC books. He's not a DC Comics fan. He's a Marvel fan, which is, you can easily tell once he says that comic book films should be bright and colorful and humor and, so, anyway, can you hear me now? So, I had to fix the microphone and sources and stuff, and hopefully you can hear stuff on here. Hopefully you can hear the music and stuff. I had to fix the sound and stuff. I thought it was broke. I thought, shit. The last thing I have to do is record on my fucking phone, which is not going to be fun. So, anyway, a lot of people have been asking where have I been while I didn't do the show last Wednesday to Friday. A lot of things happened. A funeral happened. Dealing with grieving family members happened. So a lot of things been going on, and once you hit a roadblock, you have to put what's important, family or doing a show, a podcast. So family comes first before the show and stuff. And I know I sound like an asshole for saying that, but alright. So anyway, it's been a kind of a crazy start for 2020, February to March. It's been crazy. There's always those things that roadblocks and tests and stuff happens, and that's kind of how it is. So for me, it's been kind of a rough patch in the road, and of course I have to take a break from, again, not to do an episode because I have to go to the doctor. Basically, everybody on my dad's side of the family is going to the doctor to get their hearts checked out, because my uncle died of heart failure, so I have to go get my heart checked out, get everything checked out, see what I have to do to, be healthier than ever before, And I've been doing great, I changed my diet, I lost some weight, I've been on the bike, going miles and miles and miles on the bike, and when is the date? I think it's going to be a Monday. Let me check my phone. I have it on the calendar on my phone because Surrey has to remind me when to go to the doctor. I'm going the 23rd. It's going to be Monday, 23rd. So 2 weeks from today, have to go to the doctor, and stuff. And the scary thing about it, about my uncle's health and stuff, was there was two people, well, there was three people that had high blood pressure. Two of them passed on, and I'm the one that's left with, out of the three people that had high blood pressure. My grandmother and my uncle both died of heart failure from, diet, wrong diet and high blood pressure. So I have to be I'm the one that's sort of like left of dealing with high blood pressure. And when I heard that, I was just like, shit. Like, it's insane. And, I am going to, of course, I'm going to outlive everybody. That's my goal in life, is to outlive everybody. And, I don't be scared about anything, Boo. You're Batman, and Batman's very strong. I am Batman. So, for me, I remember the quote from Batman Beyond, where Superman and Batman, Bruce Wayne, the original Batman, Bruce is older. He's like this old, he's an old man. And I remember the quote, Clark Kent, Superman, says to Superman, "You outlive us all, Bruce. You're too stubborn to die." That's how I am. I am going to be a stubborn old bastard that's going to outlive everybody. That is my goal in life, is to be the old Bruce Wayne and Batman Beyond. Be old man Bruce. Walk around with a cane and be a stubborn old fool. That's my goal in life now. The thing about it, about my uncle, is I discovered so many things about him when he passed on. Like, he went to Japan, which was amazing to hear that. He went to Japan. He lived in Japan. He lived in South Korea. He lived in Germany. He lived in England, Colorado, and California. This man lived everywhere, because he was in the military and stuff. And that was something that, to me, stood out. Like, wow. And he never talked about it, which was weird. Like, nobody ever asked him, like, oh, it was like, live in Japan and stuff. And he, of course, never talked about it. He just was never one of those people that boasted about what he did in life. He did. He had a very awesome journey in life. He never boasted about it. He just was like, I lived in Japan. He just was like, this is life. And that was the thing about it. Like, I want to read some of the things that he did in life, which was sad that nobody never talked about it while giving a eulogy. And I didn't go to his funeral because my cousin was going to be speaking. My cousin and her daughter were going to be speaking at the funeral, and it was going to be about them and him. It wasn't going to be just about him and stuff. So, for me, I kind of want to give this acknowledgement and eulogy of his biography in life, what he did. And then we'll do the show, we'll talk about the comics, but I really want to... This episode's really dedicated to him, So, this is an amazing thing in life. He got a bachelor's degree in business administration. He was a war planner. He planned courses of war and stuff in 2011 for that. Air Force mortuary officer course. Master's in business. He was a very smart businessman. He had a bachelor and a master's degree in business. And he was a AFIT labor manager relations negotiation courses. He was a good negotiator, which was amazing. He did assignments. He did the 435th Mission Support in Germany, Air Combat Command, 451st Intelligence Squadron in the UK, 18th Force Support Squadron in Japan, 50th Force Support Squadron in Colorado, Here's what he got in awards and achievements. Joint Service Command Medal, Air Force. He got like a ton of medals in the Air Force. He got a Air Force Achievement Medal for civilian service and stuff. So that's what he did. Like he also worked in FEMA. So for those conspiracy theories about FEMA, camps and all that, I don't know what he did in FEMA. Like, that was the thing about it. Like, I didn't know what he did in FEMA. Like, I know FEMA is one of those people that help, like, what they're doing in the Tennessee, the tornado that hit in Tennessee. So I know FEMA's working on that. So, yeah, he was a very smart businessman, like very intelligent, and for me, it's just like he was like one of those people like that was so smart. And it was funny though, like one time my dad said, like, when you two are in a room, you're basically the same. You two know strategy and planning things out and stuff. And that was the funny thing about it. It was like me and him were sort of similar. Like, we're both highly intelligent of strategy and planning and knowing things. Because he once said, that stood out to me, was, look at everything like a chessboard. Watch their moves and plan your moves 3 steps ahead. That was the thing I always did in life. I always planned things 3 steps ahead than anything. Like, that's kind of how I am. Even when I bag groceries. It's like Tetris. So, yeah, it's interesting to know things about him. Like, the one thing that I remember my cousin's daughter, who dropped out of college, said, like, he would be supportive. He was encouraging, to get out, drop out of college. I remember I threw the flag down on bullshit, because that man was about fucking education. This man was about education. He's about knowledge. I mean, shit, like me and him were sort of like similar on reading books. Like, he'd read 2 books a day. I would read 3 comic book issues a day, because I just like, I'm like a sponge. We were like sponges. We like soaking in information, and all that. So, like, the thing about it is just like, that always bugged me. Like, when I heard she said that, I was just like, no, it's like, you got a scholarship, for fuck's sakes. Like, you got a scholarship to, do anything you want. That's basically free money on scholarships and stuff. Like, that always bugged me. So, it's like, if I had that, I'd be like, shit, I would do anything I want to do. It's like, if I had a scholarship, I would be in film school still. I'd be like planning my first movie. Like, that's what I would be doing. But, that's kind of how it is. So, for a guy who lived in, I'll simply say this, a guy who lived in Japan, Germany, London, Colorado, California, what a life. What a life. So, that's what I'm simply going to say. What a life. And now he's, probably on the next journey of things. So, what a life, Uncle Bill. What a life. So, we're going to talk about some of the news that popped up for comics and stuff. I've been hearing about this, and simply, I'll say this: Christian Bale being in Thor, he's in a good place. He is. He's in a great place. Probably skiing, because that's what he did. He loves skiing. He lived in Colorado. And the funniest thing about it, what I heard was everyone asked him, like, what are you doing in Colorado? Like, he's going like, well, I'm doing strategy and civilian stuff, and I'm skiing. Like, I didn't even know he skied. Like, that was the one thing that kind of stood out to me. I was like, wow, the dude skied. Like, a lot of us are scared to death of skiing. So, that was a funny thing about it. Like, he lived life to the fullest, so that's the cool thing about it. So, anyway, Krill is in the next Thor movie, Love and Thunder. When I heard that, I just thought, like, how do you go from Batman to Thor? Like, that to me is like a downgrade and stuff. And a lot of people are happy that, Christian Bale's joining, Thor, and Natalie Portman's the villain. Natalie Portman's Lady Thor, and Christian Bale. Sorry, that's my bubbly. I got the strawberry bubbly. So. You can taste the strawberry. So, Christian Bale is the villain in Thor. That to me is like the worst thing to hear. Like, I was just like, I heard it like while wearing the Dark Knight Rises shirt, and I was thinking like, damn. Like, it is good bubbly. Good bubbly. So, when I heard Christian Bale playing Thor and stuff, playing in the Thor film, sorry, not Thor. I don't imagine Christian Bale playing Thor. I'm disappointed with it. It's kind of weird though. It's like the dude went from Batman to Vice to Ford versus Ferrari to he was in the boxing movie with Mark Wahlberg. What was that one movie called? He won an Oscar and Golden Globe, which was about time. But the point I'm making is Christian Bale, who is like one of the great actors, is in Thor. How the fuck did that happen? How did that happen? Like, how do you get like one of the great actors who, was in a ton of like good films, one of the best Batmans, next to, Keaton, West, and Affleck, Kilmer, can't forget him. Like, how do you go from that to Thor? Can someone please explain it to me? Like, how in the hell did Christian Bale go into a Marvel film? Like, I would rather see him play Batman again than see him in Thor. Like, that to me is crazy. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to one day, they're going to post it. Christian Bale turned down reprising his role for Batman in the Snyder cut, the Snyder Batman, Superman films. What does that tell you? He joined Thor. It's like, first off, bullshit. He wasn't asked to play Batman in the Dawn of Justice films. Snyder said in an interview like he would like to have Christian Bale play somebody else that's not Batman in the DCEU films. That is the one thing he said. The whole rumor of Warner Brothers offering him $80 million to play Batman is just a rumor. It's just hearsay. There's no actual Warner Brothers executive coming out and being like, yeah, we did offer Christian Bale $80 million to play Batman. Either way, Affleck was going to play Batman. Like, he became one of the great Batmans, in my opinion. I do look forward to seeing his one film, The Way Back. It looks like a really good film. You know, and, you know, a lot of people have been asking me, like, what do you think of Robert Pattinson playing Batman? It's like, I will say this, I love the Batmobile. Like, that Batmobile is fucking nice. I saw it and I was just like, immediately I thought of Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know why. When I saw that, I was thinking, like, man, I would love to see, like, a scene where Batman jumps a ramp with the Batmobile, and somehow, someway, Waylon Jennings' theme song for the Dukes of Hazzard plays. I want to see that. Yeah, and I did post on my story of it, like, of Batman, you know, driving the General Lee and stuff. I thought it was, like, funny, you know, funny shit. Yeah, but you know, with the bat suit, there is some similarities to other mediums of Batman, that I see in it. I do see the arm, the thing on the arm, you know, with the, like, arrows and stuff. Talon from New 52. That's really cool. The armor piece on the chest resembles, you know, Arkham. And the part of the cape and cowl kind of resembles from the White Knight comic. So I do see that. The stitching in it kind of reminds me of Gotham by Gaslight. You know, so the cowl thing I'm kind of iffy on. Like, the cowl sort of... I like the cowl, but it... You know... His chin is sticking out. Like, his chin and cheekbones are sticking out. And it looks like he's going to get clocked in the face any minute. When I saw that, I was thinking, like, shit, one good hit, man, he's down. like hopefully I'm wrong about that, because hearing that, you know, some of the fight scenes are going to be sort of similar to John Wick, and they have the fight choreographer from John Wick films, I'm thinking, like, man, that's going to be great fight scenes right there. Like, hopefully it's like the warehouse stuff, man. Like, the warehouse fight scene, I remember seeing it in theaters, and I was just, like, on the edge of my seat. Just have a Joker-like grin of, like, excitement of seeing this fucking takedown fight scenes and stuff of Batman and stuff. And I remember the one part I love the most is where he takes down the one thug and he just wails, like, throwing punches, like, over and over again. You hear this dude, like, screaming, getting the shit kicked out of him, just one punch, like, wham, wham, wham. And it had to take it, the way they had to stop it, of Batman punching the shit out of this dude, was getting shot in the back of the head where the bullet ricocheted off the cowl. Like, I was just like, holy shit. I was just like, this is awesome. This was the Batman I've been wanting to see forever. Like, this Batman just beating the shit out of thugs, throwing a crate, crushing a dude against a brick wall. Like, I was just like, this is the greatest fight scene I have ever seen in a film before. And I was just, like, saying to my nephew, like, did you see that? Like, I was just, like, going all out, like, this is the greatest thing I have ever seen. And the part where Batman goes through the wall, grabbing the thug, pointing a gun at, like, this dude who is, like, Firefly, because he has, like, a blowtorch, and Batman going, I believe you. And he just fires the gun. Like, I was like, that's out of The Dark Knight Returns. Like, I was just, like, all over, like, this scene is great. And, like, for me, I was just like, I cannot wait for the solo Batman film. I want to see Batman go in the Iceberg Lounge, beating the shit out of Penguin's goons, grabbing Penguin, throwing him against the wall, and just wailing the shit out of him for answers of, like, for what information. Like, I wanted that. I wanted that so badly. And it'd be like the Arkham Origins where he did that to Penguin. Like, I wanted that so badly in a film. And hopefully I get that in the Batman film. Hopefully Matt Reeves does that. Where you see like this John Wick fight scene at a club. And the club's like the Iceberg Lounge. Something like that. Like, I want that. So for me, I love that scene in Dark Knight, the Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice. Like, that is my favorite scene of Batman. Besides the one scene where Batman says, "I bet your parents taught you that you mean something, that you're here for a reason. My parents taught me one different lesson. Dying in a gutter for no reason at all." Like, I love that scene. I remember going like, that scene is perfect. Like, that scene was so perfect in that moment. And the way Affleck delivered it was just amazing. Like, no other actor could do that. And for me, like, I am one of those people, like, yeah, I am upset that Affleck is no longer Batman. I am. And to me, he'll always be Batman. Like, I always wanted to see him play Batman. When I saw the film Armageddon, like, I thought, like, this dude looks like Bruce Wayne. And I always wanted to see him play, Batman. And, I finally got to see it. Like, the first film, Dawn of Justice, yeah, I finally got to see that. Suicide Squad, why was he in the scene in Suicide Squad? Like, I wanted that one moment where him and Deadshot go at it, like a fight scene. Batman has to dodge from getting shot. That type of moment. And Justice League, why? Is the basic question of the movie. Like, why? Why did this happen? So, I mean, for me, I look forward to Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like I said, I look forward to his interpretation because I know his interpretation is going to be far different than all the other actors. He does have a bit of that Christian Bale vibe to it, but I know he's not going to go Christian Bale out on it. He's going to make it his own Batman, and that's what I look forward to seeing. And from the suit, the Batmobile, the look, the feel of it that I'm getting from the film, like it's going to be a grounded, like a mixture of Tim Sale meets Jeff Loeb, type of look. A mixture of Miller's Year One. I do like it. It's going to look great. I mean, Matt Reeves is a fantastic director. I love the movie Let Me In. He did Cloverfield, one of my favorite monster movies. I do like the Cloverfield movie. And plus he created one show I actually really liked that I actually started rewatching, Felicity. He created the show Felicity with J.J. Abrams. A really good show. I actually like it. So for me, I do look forward to what Matt Reeves is going to bring. And Planet of the Apes. I can't forget the Planet of the Apes films. Amazing movies, by the way. Caesar, the story of Caesar is just fantastic. And it's funny that Caesar and Gollum are Alfred. That is the amazing thing. I remember seeing how it should have ended. And all of a sudden, like, Batman calls Alfred to bring the Bat Cycle, and all of a sudden, Smeagol's bringing the cycle. And I remember watching that, going like, Alfred played Gollum. Like, I love it. So I look forward to it. Like, I look forward to seeing Smeagol play Alfred, and hopefully they have bloopers of the guy who plays Alfred does the voice of Gollum. Making Robert Pattinson laugh. So hopefully we get to see that. So for me, I do look forward to seeing Pattinson's version, and I think he's going to do a fantastic job. Like I said, Good Time movie, fantastic. Lighthouse, what I saw, I like it. He's definitely going to be the Batman for this generation. And hopefully they hopefully they let Pattinson and Reeves have their own take for the DCEU. Hopefully they don't do what they did to Affleck in Justice League, where they're like, we're going to reshoot it. And stuff like, hopefully they don't. So for me, I do look forward to it, and I do like the Batmobile. Like I said, the Batmobile for me, it sort of has that vibe of like the 66 Batmobile and a mixture of the 89 Batmobile. Like it kind of gives me that vibe of it, and I do look forward to seeing what they're gonna do with it. I can't wait to see the car chase scenes, the Bat Cycle scene. I like with Catwoman. A lot of people got mad over the Catwoman suit. Like supposedly it's gonna be like the Catwoman suit in the motorcycle scene. I will say this: that is a stunt woman, and I'm sure she's wearing protective padding underneath the suit in case she, in case she falls off the cycle. So at least she's protected. So I do like what I see so far, and I do like the cast, even though I still think they should have went with Clive Owen as Gordon. Just saying. So I can't wait to see what they do with this Batman film. Like I know they've been trying to get Riddler in the Batman film for a while. If you ever watch Dawn of Justice, there's a Riddler question mark in one scene, and it's like a hint that Riddler is around. So I cannot wait to see Paul Dano as the Riddler. Paul Dano is going to knock it out of the ballpark. Like, this isn't going to be your Jim Carrey Riddler. This is going to be your Riddler that is twisted, sadistic, twisted version of Riddler. I think you're going to see the Riddler from the Arkham video games, or the Riddler from Batman Earth 1 Volume 2. That Riddler. So, and that Riddler was crazy. Like, that Riddler had no mercy for anybody. So, for me, I look forward to it. So, for me, that's what I look forward to. Do I want to see, like, Pattinson's Batman and the Justice League, if they ever do another Justice League? No. I don't. They burned Batman in the first one. I don't want to see it in another one. So, for me, just, if you're going to do Batman and Justice League, have the guy who's involved in it be involved with Batman scenes and all that, like how you're going to deliver it. So, speaking of Batman, James Tynion. I don't know, I haven't read any of his Batman run since Tom King left. I just sort of like, I just really didn't have the vibe to like read it. I don't know what it is, like that's the word of the day, is vibe. I didn't have the vibe from it, so like, I want to read this. Tynion announces that he is doing the origin of Punchline and announcing Clown Hunter for Batman 96. I don't really... I'd be honest with you, I am so tired of Joker. I'm tired of Punchline already. Like, I mean, you really didn't seem like... It just seemed like they didn't even put in time for names for the character. It's just like, what do you call this new character? Punchline. Like, she looks like an Asian cosplayer. Like, not in a good way. Not in a good way. I don't like the character. I don't like the look. I don't like really anything of this character. And the thing about it is, like, they basically took this, like, story that is basically a Harley Quinn centered story, and they threw it in a Batman. Like, I know that they're trying to create, like, the new Harley Quinn. You know the last time they ever did that? When they did the Joker's daughter was the last time, and people thought, like, that was going to be the hottest character for DC. Like, that's going to be, like, the new hot character. Something that replaces Harley Quinn. And Joker's daughter, you know, I even had the comic of Joker's daughter, and that story sucked. Like, that story sucked. I bought this book, and I looked at it, I'm like, why did I buy it? Oh, that's right, it became, like, the hottest book. And I bought that book, and that book's worth $15. $15. My comic of Jason Todd's origin is worth more than the Joker's daughter. And that's a character I actually like. Joker's daughter is just a shit can character. I sound like Mr. Leahy from Trailer Park Boys. Yes, I do. That character is a shit can character. Taking Joker's cut off face. Apparently somebody was a fan of the movie Face Off. And put it on her face. Because she claims to be Joker's daughter. There was no Maury DNA test. None of it. It was basically a schizophrenic, psychotic girl who was obsessed with Joker and said, like, I am the Joker's daughter. Like, that to me was just like the stupidest thing ever. And Punchline is going to be the same way 3-4 years down the road, from going $100 comic that people are overcharging on eBay to a $15 book. That is where this character is going to be later down the road. It is. That's where Punchline is going to be, and she's going to be the punchline of her own joke. So that to me is just what bothers me the most. And I know that they're trying to, like, you know, force this character onto us, like she is like the greatest thing, like Harley Quinn. And I am not the biggest Harley Quinn fan. I love the animated cartoon. I cannot wait for season 2 on April 3rd of Harley Quinn, because that is going to be fun times. I love the first season. Like I said, the first season of Harley Quinn, my favorite character of the show is Bane. And I love I love the Bane Joker phone call scene. Like, I love it. That was like my favorite scene of that show, where, you know, Bane calls Joker, Harley arrived to the party, and Joker, she crashed the stupid thing. Like, that was my favorite moment of it. Like, she brought 2 tigers. Like, that was my favorite part of that. Like, and of course Bane walking in going, Joshua, you don't no longer get the Legion of Doom credit card. Like, I love that. Like, when I heard that, I was just like, I didn't even know I got. I love that conversation between Joker and Bane. I love it. It was just like my favorite part. And what aggravated me the most was, like, a lot of people who shipped Ivy and Harley, which is, like, dumb. I don't really get it. I don't get those people. Like they got mad over Kite Man and Ivy, and I love Kite Man. Kite Man is like my favorite. I want a Kite Man comic. I want a solo Kite Man story comic where he ends up like, I want Tom King to write Kite Man comic. I want an entire story about this character. Like, and I would love to see him sort of be like DC's true answer to Deadpool. A lot of people are always like, Harley Quinn's the answer to Deadpool for DC. It's like, not really. Like, not really. Like, Deadpool's more likable. Like, Kite Man could be that way. Like, I love the character. Like, I didn't care about him at first, but when I saw the animated series of Harley Quinn, I was just like, I want that character in a comic book series. Like, I want that. Where he tries to rob somebody but ends up saving that person, and people think he's a hero, and he has to like sort of like try to be villainous, but he ends up being more heroic. Something like that. Like, I want that. I want, that type of character. And for me, I really like the character. I do like the relationship between him and Poison Ivy. And the thing about Ivy and Harley is they're both more like, when I watched the show, I got the vibe that they were more like sisters than they were into each other. You know what I mean? And I'm so sick and tired of these people who post like, you see, Batgirl knew that Harley and Ivy had a special thing, and Batman knew in Rebirth that Harley and Ivy had a special thing. It's like, not really. I don't see it. They were more like siblings. They were like sisters. Like, that's what they are more to me like. They're more like sisters. Like, Ivy's the big sister that Harley needs to, move forward in life. I think that's what was missing in Birds of Prey. Was Poison Ivy. I think that's what was missing. Like I said before in one episode, like, I wanted to see, I wanted to see the Harley Quinn movie, but the one that they did in the TV show. Like, she reconnects with an old friend, which is Poison Ivy. She gets together her gang. Joker's the villain of the movie. I mean, they could have gotten a new Joker. Like, they could have gotten Adrian Brody to play Joker. Yeah, I'm just throwing somebody out there. Someone better than Jared Leto. And I'll admit, the new Morbius film does look interesting. I'm probably not going to see it, but, when I saw Michael Keaton, I was just like, okay, I might go see it. It's kind of weird, though. It's like, the Morbius film, it's like, where does it take place exactly? Does it take place in a Sam Raimi Spider-Man because you got to see Sam Raimi Spider-Man in the background? Or does it take place in the MCU where Michael Keaton just shows up out of nowhere? Where does it exactly take place? But I wanted to see a Harley Quinn film where you had Joker, Condiment King, one character that deserves one goofy ass character that deserves acknowledgement and respect. Condiment King with his ketchup gun and his mustard gun. That dude deserves some recognition. Like, that's where I wanted to see. I wanted to see Harley get together her gang, which is like this weird oddity group where you got Dr. Psycho, played by what is that dude's name? The dude who was in Game of Thrones. He was in X-Men. Man, what is that dude's name? Hold on. I'm going to figure out his name. He's the one dude who's like literally the one part of Game of Thrones I actually enjoyed. Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage should play Dr. Psycho. Get Dr. Psycho played by Peter Dinklage, because it makes the film like they're serious about this film. You get Poison Ivy played by Lady Gaga. I don't know why, but she could play the oddest characters. Yeah, Peter Dinklage. He played Game of Thrones as Tyrone. Peter Dinklage. Layla woke up from her nap. Peter Dinklage as Dr. Psycho, who's like the comic relief, but also the guy who knows what he's doing. He's serious, but he's also a bit of, funny comic relief. You get Christopher Lloyd as the old man in the wheelchair, because I love Christopher Lloyd. That dude deserves to play a lot of roles. You get Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia as Condiment King, who you have to get him in that role. Because if you ever watch It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it's like you watch Charlie and you're like, how did anybody not get this dude in a comic book movie as a funny comic relief sidekick? So you get him in the film. You get Christopher Lloyd, Peter Dinklage. You get King Shark or Killer Croc. The guy. Better yet, get Killer Croc to come back. I don't know why they don't have him in the new Suicide Squad movie. Like, I actually liked him. Yeah, he looked like shit, but it's worth. It's trying. So you get Killer Croc to come back. He works with Harley, and stuff. So you get Penguin. You get Penguin to show up one scene, or you get Harvey Dent. You know what? Better yet, get Harvey Dent to show up, and get Tom Hardy to cameo as Bane. You get Joker, of course, in the film. That's how it works. That would be a good film, like Harley wants to take back what's hers of the Joker, She helped Joker build up his empire. So she gets together this gang and decides to take her share of what Joker has. And throughout all that, it's basically what it is, It's like a fun little heist movie for some odd reason. So, anyway. So, my uncle, who I mentioned before, who is a Marvel fan. He's a fan of Marvel comics. He likes Marvel stuff. Me and him debate over DC stuff. And he went to a yard sale. This woman was selling her comics. This woman was having a yard sale, selling comic books that she had and stuff. So my uncle, and the yard sale was all the way in another area. So he found it on Facebook. And I'm not on Facebook that much. So he went to the yard sale, and this woman was selling her comics for $1. He found a bunch of Marvel comics, and he found some DC comics, and he messaged me like, hey, I found these comics. I know you're a Batman fan. I found them. Do you want them? I was like, yes, I will take them. He found 7, and I offered to pay him $7 for the comics because he paid $1 for them. He didn't want it. He didn't want the $7. He was just like, I found a bunch of Marvel books I've been looking for. I'm good. Even though I offered him $7, he didn't want it. So I ended up giving him 7 Marvel books I had, so we kind of had to trade off. So he trades 7 DC books, I trade 7 Marvel books. I still have some of my Marvel books I like the Venom, Lethal Protector. I have Spider-Man teams up with Dracula. I don't know why. So I trade like some comics I had. I trade Punisher Warzone #1, which I didn't want because I am not a big Punisher fan. I don't know why. I just never. It's kind of weird though. I like the first movie they did with the second movie, technically the second movie with Thomas Jane. There's a first Punisher movie. So anyway, he also loaned me Deceased Unkillables. He got the one from Comics Elite, which has Wonder Woman's villain. I forget her name. She's going to be in the new one. The Tiger Lady. Tigress, I think is her name. I forget. So, let's take a look at... let me read off the books that I got, because I traded. This one kind of made me laugh when I found it. When I saw it in the pile. The special edition presented by OnStar, Batman #1. How Batman beat the Riddler using OnStar. If you don't remember, back in the day, Batman, of course, was not... what is it? Not as popular as he is now with the media. There wasn't a lot of Batman films. It was after Batman and Robin. And we got the Birds of Prey. Batman was in the intro. Batman and Catwoman were in the intro. And Batman was in an OnStar commercial. You had Batman taking on Riddler, Joker, and I believe Penguin in the Batman OnStar commercials. Let me find it on YouTube real quick, because this was insane back in the day. And I remember as a kid, I thought, like, this is the stupidest commercial, but you know what? It's the closest thing I get to Batman. So, hold on, let me just type it in. Here it is. Batman OnStar commercials in the 2000. It was sort of like a homage to... And Alfred Gough appeared in the commercial. And it was sort of like... And the OnStar commercial of Batman took place in sort of in the Tim Burton, Joel Schumacher Batman verse. That's how crazy it was. And it sort of reused some of the scenes of Batman 89, and the bat suit was sort of like a mixture of... The cowl was the George Clooney bat cowl. The chest armor was sort of like the Val Kilmer one. And it was a really good commercials, like, and they used some of the old scenes from like the 89 Batman films and all that. It was a very weird commercial. And they used in the third commercial, the scene where Batman jumps down. It's the scenes that they used in Batman Forever and stuff. So it was actually entertaining commercials. So I do recommend watching them, because it's sort of like I know a lot of you are going to find him campy and corny, but here's the thing. Back in the day, we did not have Batman films like we do now. We take what we get, is basically what I'm saying. So, the other one, the other comic, and by the way, I do love the OnStar little thing, like if you have the website or the number, you can get Batman OnStar stuff, and I was thinking about like one day going on their website to see if I could find the Batman OnStar shirt or the mug. It's pretty funny. The other one is Teen Titans Go, number 22. I love Teen Titans Go, one of my favorite cartoons. Catwoman number 1 from New 52. I do love the cover, by the way. The cover is very, very beautiful. I do love that cover. It's a very wonderful cover. I do have the t-shirt to it, because I love that cover. It's a very perfect cover. It's perfect. It's perfection is what that cover is. Batman Detective Comics 667. Add to my growing Batman Detective Comics. And I will say this one, the funny thing about the OnStar commercial with Penguin, because I'm playing it on the TV, Penguin looks like from Gotham, like the TV show Gotham in the final episode of Gotham. It is just a perfect cover. I actually want to sort of put it in a case and put it on my wall, because I love that Catwoman cover. Batman Detective Comics 675. My collection of Detective Comics is growing. Like, I love Detective Comics. Is like the thing I love the Batman comics, but Detective Comics was the origin of Batman. It's like the growing origin. And for me, I love the history and of Detective Comics, and I'm trying to find like every issue I can. There's 1,000 issues, and I'm still trying to like find every one of them just to add to the box. So these two, when I saw these two, I was just like that was my reaction to it, because when I saw these two final books I have to talk about, and I have to open, because one of them has an ad that I remember as a kid seeing, and I did have growing up. Detective Comics 38 from the Toys R Us replica. Toys R Us, of course, is no longer around, which is sad. Detective Comics 38 is the first appearance of Robin the Boy Wonder. Robin's first appearance, Dick Grayson's first appearance in comics, and the Toys R Us replica. And it is a very iconic cover. And I saw this, I was just like, this is history right here. Robin the Boy Wonder, Batman's adopted son, showing up. So let me open this up real quick. On the back ad that I saw, let me see if it's in here. It is. Thank God. There's two ads. One is from, both are from actually Batman and Robin, the classic, the classic Batman and Robin movie, otherwise known as the Batman movie that killed Batman's film series. I will talk about it in a future episode about Batman and Robin, how I would have done it, or, well, that is going to be one of them. How George Clooney wasn't actually a bad Batman choice. So, the one ad says it's going to be a long, cold summer. Get it? Because, summer's hot, but it's going to be cold. Batman and Robin, the video game, on PlayStation, coming fall 1997. The worst Batman video game ever made. I did mention before that Dark Tomorrow was a bad Batman video game. Apparently, I dodged a bullet with this one. The other one is, I had this. Me and my sister had this because it's funny though, we just, we wanted these so badly and we annoyed our dad with it. Mr. Freeze's Freezer Bars. The limited edition box of Batman and Robin Mr. Freeze's Freezer Bars, which is basically fruit popsicles. And they were so cool because they were like literally a Mr. Freeze ice cream bars, basically. Freezer bars is basically what they were. And the package of it had like this little snowman with the little top hat, and it says Mr. Freeze's Freezer Bars, and they were fun. They were really cool. They don't make them anymore, because it's not 1997. And they were really cool. I really liked them. They were just like they felt like something out of Gotham City. It felt like you were in Gotham City buying these. It was so cool, And finally, I had this as I had two, I think 3 out of 4 of them. I know I had two of them because they were really cool. The Adventures of Batman and Robin on VHS. You had the Batman Origin. You had the Mr. Freeze, Fire and Ice, Batman, Fire and Ice, Mr. Freeze and stuff. I had these VHS tapes as a kid. I remember as a kid watching them. I watched them so much I wore down the VHS tape. It got to the point where the VCR ate the tape. Is basically what it was. So I had these as a kid. Like I had the VHS tapes. They were great. They were before streaming, before DVD. You did not get all the episodes of Batman, the animated series, on one tape. You were lucky to get 2 episodes, 3 episodes at least. You were lucky with it. And the cool thing about it was it came when you collect them all, each volume, it came with a collector sticker. A Batman character sticker. And back in the day when you had those stickers, you put them on your dresser, you just are a folder, You didn't have a laptop, so you couldn't put them on a laptop like I do now. My laptop is covered with stickers and decals. Mostly Batman. So this was really cool back in the day, and I was a nerdy little kid who had almost all the Batman action figures, watching them, playing with the Batman action figures, creating your little story in your head. So that's what it was for me. Like I saw this and I was just like, this is nostalgia. So anyway, let me put the book back. And the funny thing about it was all 4 new adventures priced at $9.95. So let me put this back in the the comic book bag. So, yeah, Batman Detective Comics 38. And finally, she's going to be in the Titans Season 3, hopefully. Detective Comics number 359, otherwise known as the first appearance of Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. I love the bottom tagline. It says, the $1 million debut of Batgirl. And I'm sure that's what Bob Kane was saying, like, she's going to be $1 million. So, yeah, I have two, well, the replicas also from the Toys R Us replica, Batgirl with her little bat purse. So, yeah, I saw these two and I was just like, wow, like, I can't believe it, like, two of the iconic sidekicks and stuff. So hopefully I can find, like I said, like one episode, like I want to buy replica issues of iconic Batman characters. Like I don't want to buy the hardcover trade paperback of like debuts of iconic characters. Like I want to buy replica books. I don't care, they're not the actual book. When you look at them, they're just like, wow, this was like back in the day, like this was, you know, like imagine like going back in time, like buying all these books and stuff because they were, you know, iconic. And the reason why a lot of them, all these books cost so much money is like they, you know, back in the day, they you know, people didn't realize that these books were, you know, Stitch woke up. I can hear him scratching. When people bought these weren't like in their mind going like these characters are gonna be worth $1 million. This book's gonna be $1 million. Just like when you imagine like back in the day when you know, living back in those times, like you saw the first Batman comic, and you're thinking like, I have this book and I did not realize this character was gonna be a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut character. That's the amazing thing about it when you look at these books. Is like you didn't even realize like these characters started out from an idea and it became a multi-billion-dollar character. Like that is the amazing thing about looking at these books. Like you never imagine Batgirl's first appearance. You never realize like this character was going to be a iconic character. Or you look at Catwoman, you never realize that Catwoman was going to be a iconic femme fatale, a badass character. You know, that's the thing about it. Like I look at these books and I just realize how amazing they are and stuff. So for me, these are really cool. I am so happy that I am, you know, adding these two to my Detective Comics collection. Like, and I love this new 52 Catwoman cover. I love it. Perfect cover, you know. Absolutely perfect. And the OnStar commercials are hilarious to look at. So let's. I realize I've been rambling. Let's get to other geek news, the geek news and all that. And I didn't even realize it's been an hour, past 60 minutes. Almost an hour or talking and stuff, so I'm just rambling incoherently about, you know, comics and stuff. And the ads. That's the one thing I started missing comics now is like when you read current books, like there's not ads for stuff that sort of stands out. Like now it's like, you know, and stuff. The Three Jokers story. And I'm also going to read this one. Batman Punchline co-creator debunks transgender villain rumors. Oh my god. So, Batman The Three Jokers issue 1 is finally getting a release date. After what feels like a lifetime for fans, Jeff Johns and Jason Fabok, the Batman The Three Jokers issue 1 will finally be giving a release date. After years of anticipation, the epic story is finally here. Find out why there are three Jokers, which means for the decade-long battles between the Dark Knight and the Clown Prince of Crime, DC teased that the Three Jokers. The first issue will arrives June 17th. And this powerful, emotional story for Batman, Batgirl, and Red Hood, all past victims of the Joker, work together to solve the mystery unlike anything there's ever faced before. I will say this, and this is like the stupidest thing about it. It's going to be released on DC's Black Label. Yeah. These books are going to be released on DC's Black Label, which means the question of, is it canon? Is it canon? No, like I love the idea of three Jokers. The Three Jokers theory, like there wasn't just one, there's three different ones. Like, I love that theory. I think it's a really cool theory of, like, there's three Jokers for the past decades, you know? I mean, shit, I would love to see that in film. You know? Like, I mean, I would love to see them actually connect Joaquin Phoenix's Joker to the Batman. I would love to see that connection. I think that would be a perfect idea. I mean, like, they don't have to be like, well, he was in a different universe. They could be like, he existed. He just existed at a different time. He inspired some other guy to be the Joker. He caused chaos, and he inspired the current Joker that you see now. Like, I would love to see that. I would love to see that. Like, I don't want to see them go like, well, this Joker existed, he's by himself in his own universe. Why not just be like, this Joker fucked up this guy's life? Like, he inspired the chaos that took Thomas and Martha Wayne, and now he's an old man in a cell. And in his psychotic state of being locked up in Arkham, he inspired this new Joker that is out there in Gotham. Like, I would love to see that. Like, that would be the most fucked up thing you would ever realize. That there's two Jokers existing. One is an old man, and the other one is just young and crazy. Like, I would love to see that. Like, that would be the craziest thing you would ever see in Batman. Like, that'd be something that has never been done before. Like, would you imagine, like, if they did that in The Dark Knight? Like, they cast a new Joker, and you realize that is not the same Joker as in Heath Ledger's Joker, which I'm glad they didn't, because when I think about that, that is a stupid idea. Because Heath Ledger's Joker is perfect the way it is, a perfect mess of a character, same as Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is a perfect mess in a good way. He's, and that was the funny thing about it. Like, my uncle who's a Marvel fan saw the movie, and he just thought, like, this is too dark and disturbing. I was just like, really? I thought it was perfect. And I ended up giving my copy of the DVD to my sister, who is a fan of Deadpool. Like, she was just like, I don't understand the big deal of this Joker movie. And she saw it, and she was like, holy shit, this movie is crazy. I was just like, I know, right? Like, I went to Walmart and I bought it, and people were giving me looks like, this dude's fucking crazy. Like, nobody bought the movie at Walmart, the Walmart that I go to, because people thought like this movie would inspire crazy, psychotic people. I walked in there and I was thinking, like, I'm going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I ended up buying it, and the woman who was doing the checkout looked at the movie, then looked at me, then looked at the movie. And she put it in the bag. I was just like, I cannot wait to see this movie. Like, that's what I said. Then I paid for it and walked out of the store. Like, that movie was just like, on a list of like, and I was surprised they sold it, because there was like rumors going around that Walmart wasn't going to sell it because people were afraid that it would inspire chaos. But instead, it inspired a conversation and a discussion. That is the thing about DC films, is like, they inspire a conversation with people. They inspire a debate, a discussion of like, where does this go? And the Joker movie inspired the conversation and discussion of mental health issues, environmental surroundings for individuals dealing with mental illness. That was what was perfect about the Joker movie. It inspired a conversation of like how mental health affects people and how a negative surrounding affects people. That's what was great about it. It wasn't just about inspiring copycats or something, or like the James Holmes stupid shit in Aurora. You know, and that was the thing about the Joker movie that I actually like, and I would love to see a Batman type film by the guy who made Joker. Even though he talked about it, I would actually love to see it. I would love to see how it affects Bruce Wayne as Batman. Like, how is his mental... Like, when you think about it, how can somebody like Bruce Wayne Batman able to do it, be Batman? How does the mental health affect this character? Or something. Like, I would love to see that. Like, that's what I loved about, the Dark Knight trilogy, was you got to see, especially in the Dark Knight, how being Batman took a toll on Bruce Wayne Batman. Even in the Dark Knight Rises, like, this dude's knee was fucked up. And he was able to fight and stuff. And it was the same way with Dawn of Justice. Like, you see an older Bruce Wayne who's, drinking, taking medication, and because he was in so much pain throughout his life, and you realize when you saw him drinking, you're like, oh man, Ben Affleck has that problem. And, it didn't even dawn on you, like, when you watched the film again, you're like, man, and stuff. Like, I remember watching this, speaking of Affleck, I watched the panel that they did at San Diego Comic-Con when they did the Dawn of Justice panel. And they have Henry Cavill, they have Amy Adams, Henry Cavill, and they have Ben Affleck. And you see Ben Affleck at the end of it, like, he is like, you could tell, like, this dude is like, does not want to be there. Like, I mean, I don't want to say that in a joking way, but if you ever look at him at the Dawn of Justice panel, like, you could tell, like, this dude is unhappy. Like, he is unhappy. He's depressed. You could tell, like, this dude was just not happy. And it's really weird when you watch it, like, now. Back then, you're like, yeah, back then you could tell, like, yeah, he was not happy. Like, but anyway, I would love to see, a Batman Joker type movie. Like, I would love to see how, like, in the Joker film, you saw Bruce Wayne as a kid, and at the end of the film, you see him, like, standing over his parents' bodies. Like, I want to see that film of, like, how is this kid, who's now an adult, how did it affect him? And what is the drive to be Batman. Like, that's what I love to see. So, as for the Three Joker story, I hope it's canon. And to quote the Titanic, it's been 84 years. I've been waiting for this story. I think it was like when they announced it, I think back in 2015. Yeah, 2015 they announced it. It's like 5 years later, it's finally coming out. And all I can say, it's about fucking time. Like, seriously, like, what took you 5 years to make this? And it better be a good story. It better not be a cop-out. It better not be like Doomsday Clock, where you get the first issue 5 years later, and all of a sudden you have to wait another fucking 5 years for the second issue, then another 5 years. I don't want to wait until 2030 to read this fucking book. I don't want to wait 5 years. 2030. And I'd be like, man, it wasn't even fucking worth it. Like, I do not want to be that guy. Wait 5 years and be like, I remember when they announced it 25 years ago. I was excited and now I'm pissed. Like, I don't want to wait that long. Like, shit. Like, and it better be a good story. And now they've released the first preview of it. Alfred's in it. How the fuck is Alfred in it? Alfred prepares surgery for the Three Jokers upcoming DC Black Label miniseries, as Batman is escorted to the Batcave where he's prepped for surgery by Alfred. Oh shit, they got the Batmobile. Oh, it looks like the Batmobile from the 89 Batman. And he hits it. You gotta be fucking kidding me. He hits a tombstone of his parents' grave. Gets out of the Batmobile and stumbles into the cave. Okay, I will admit, the artwork looks really, really good. Damn. I love the Batcave, man. Like, that is so cool. They have different... He has Catwoman's old cat suit in the cave. He has his old bat suit, Jason's old Robin suit, Batgirl's old Batgirl suit, Riddler's old suit, Two-Face's old suit, Bane's old suit, and he has Catwoman's old suit. He has Catwoman's old cat suit. The purple dress cat suit. The one that I absolutely love. I love that cat suit. Like, the old purple dress cat suit. Like, I thought that was so cool when they... Like, that is her first... The reason I like it is because that's, like, her first cat suit that she wore in the 1930s Batman comics, like, her first appearance. Like, even though, like, her first appearance was... She wore... I consider it her first appearance because her original cat suit was she wore an orange dress with a cat mask on her head. Like, literally a cat mask on her head, which was the stupidest looking suit. I don't want to sound mean because I love Catwoman. Like, I'm a Catwoman guy. Like, I love Catwoman. But her first appearance where she wears a cat mask and an orange dress, that is the stupidest outfit I have ever seen. Like, I saw that, I was just like, no. Like, that was Catwoman's first suit. But I love the little, like, he has, like, he has, like, a museum of his stuff. Like, he has a giant Joker card, the dinosaur, an 8-ball. I don't know why. The giant penny. I will admit, I love these panels of the Three Jokers. I love it. It looks really cool. And it has a utility belt from the 89 Batman movie. and it has the cowl that sort of resembles the '89 Batman. Like, I love it. I dig it. I dig it. So I can't wait to read it. The Three Jokers. I've been waiting 5 years. I'm not going to wait an extra 5 years for book 2 and 10 years for book 3. They better have all of them out by the end of this year. That's what I'm going to say. So I dig it. I like it. I'm definitely going to check it out. So for me, I do like the panels so far. I don't like that he hit his parents' grave. I find that offensive. So June 17th, I guess. June 17th, yeah, is going to be the Three Jokers coming out. So I'm definitely going to try to buy it. So anyway, and I do like the artwork. The artwork's very amazing. So I will say this: they better have all 3 of those books out by the end of this year, and they better have Tom King's Batman Catwoman out. So anyway, guess we're at the end of the podcast episode. We're going to be wrapping it up. So for me, I dig the new Joker, the Three Jokers thing. I hope it's canon. Like, I hope it's canon. I hope they make it really unique to the way where they could be like, there's 3 Jokers in the DC universe. There's not just one. There's 3. 3 times the deadlier. I look forward to it. I hope there's not like something controversial where it's like they try to make it controversial and awesome. It's awesome, but in reality it's like it's stupid. You were amazing. Thank you, love. I will say this. I dig the Three Jokers idea. I hope it's canon. I hope it's canon like in Tom King's Batman. Like they're going to make that canon, which they should. Yeah, just to, evolve the characters. Damn it. Just evolve them. They've been the same for 80 years. Let them evolve. Have new layers. So for me, I like the Three Jokers story. I think it's about time they release it. I think them postponing it for 5 years is utterly ridiculous. Because it would have brought something new to the DC universe, and hopefully it does. So anyway, to finally wrap it up, I look forward to what comes out next for the Batman stuff. I hope they release Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman, photo or something, promotional video, photo, whatever. I want to see what they look like. I want to see what Zoe Kravitz looks like as Catwoman. I did see a leak image. She does look really awesome as Catwoman. I want to see Paul Dano as Riddler. I want to see a good photo of Colin Farrell as Penguin. I know they have like these set images where they had him on set, but I want to see an actual good photo of him as Penguin. I hope they have like more villains show up in it. Like I would love to see Joker possibly show up at the end of it. I hope they cast somebody as Harvey Dent Two-Face. I remember there's one person I actually want to see play Two-Face. Does anybody remember the one guy who was in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 as Harry Osborn? I want to see him play Two-Face. I've seen him in that one film, Chronicle, I think is what it's called. And he was really good in it. In Chronicle, it's like, I think it's about, Chronicle is about those three dudes who get superpowers. and the guy who played Harry Osborn becomes a villain. He was really good in that film, and I remember watching and going like, I want to see this dude play Two-Face, because he could play like this charming, nice individual, but he has like a fucking mean streak, a brutal mean streak. And I was like, this dude could be Two-Face. Like, he could be Two-Face. He could be like this charming, nice guy politician, but he could be fucking brutal. Like, he could have like a violent, like, temper mean streak where he could beat the shit out of somebody. Like, I want to see that. So for me, I want to see that dude. Dan DeHaan is his name. Dan DeHaan. Yeah, I think that's his name. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I don't know. But I want to see that dude play Two-Face, man. Like, he would be great as Two-Face. Like that's what you need as Two-Face. Like Harvey Dent could be like this nice guy, act like he's, high moral, but in reality, behind closed doors, you see this other side of him where he is just this conniving, backstabbing bastard. So I want to see that dude play Two-Face. Like, I think he's gonna be in a new show on called The Stranger on Quibble, which is like this new streaming platform where it has like 10-minute movies and shows. 10-minute shows or short film. Like, it looks like a really good show. He plays like this guy who gets a ride in this Uber, and he admits that he's a killer. And it reminded me of the movie Red Eye with Cillian Murphy and Rachel McAdams, which is also a good film, by the way. So, anyway, that's who's my pick for Two-Face, is the guy from Chronicle and Amazing Spider-Man 2 as Harry. He was good as Harry Osborn. Harry Osborn the person, but as Green Goblin, he was awful. I don't know what they were thinking with that. So, anyway, we'll be back for tomorrow's episode. We will, I guess, continue talking about Batman stuff. It's more like a Batman podcast, which I actually like the idea of that. So, anyway, if you're on YouTube, guess subscribe and like the video. I guess, I don't know. I don't want you to. So, I will be back tomorrow with the podcast. We're on Spreaker, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Podchaser, Castbox, which I think is great. Yeah, so many other podcast platforms and stuff. I know a lot of people have been asking me what I thought of the Elimination Chamber. I did not watch it. I haven't watched any WWE shows for a while because I've been watching the XFL. And the Battlehawks lost yesterday's game, but man, they played against a tough team. DC, the DC's team, man, they are tough. Like, they are a tough team. So it was a very tough battle. They were also in DC Defenders. DC Defenders, that's the name of the team. They were in their home turf, so usually they had the home turf advantage. So, and they had a very strong fan base, like what we do here. And Battlehawks are, a phenomenal team, the best team in football, in my opinion. So yeah, I've been watching Battlehawks. I've been watching the Cardinals spring training, and that's what I've been watching and stuff. And I've been avoiding the news because everyone's paranoid, freaking out about the coronavirus, which I understand. Wash your hands is basically the motto in life. People have been saying it for years. Wash your hands. People don't. So, after the show, wash your hands. So, anyway, I'll be back tomorrow. Bye. Wash your hands.